All right, we are live. Good morning, good morning. So, as promised, I said I was going to jump on this YouTube a little more often, all right? And I'm really enjoying all the questions I've been getting in the comment sections on the last videos. I'm going to do my best to respond to those probably today. But where you're tuning in from, drop a comment below. I like to know where all my people are at. Right now it's time to represent where you're from, all right? Where you tuning in from. Also, comment below, Savage, if you are on this live and you're up in the morning like a winner. Remember, the early bird gets the worm. If you're watching the replay, comment #cabbage, all right? So this video, I wanted to drop some, I don't know, just share some insights. Hopefully somebody can pick this up and see it for what it's worth. But I wanted to share some mindset shifts that I've had to make and share some stories about them that have helped me excel in my career. And the first thing I want to kind of start off with is adversity is your advantage, all right? The painful shit, the worst shit that's ever happened in your life that you never want to happen, that's the stuff, when used correctly, that will create a driving force called the X factor that is, it's more internal than any kind of strategy I can give you. I can give you all the mindset stuffs to think about, but if you are a fucking pastry boy and haven't been through jack shit in life, and you know losing $500 is scary to you, or you don't even have $500 to lose, you're probably not going to get this mindset. You need a lot more pain in your life and in your career. You need a lot more bullshit, because and not bullshit where you blame it on other people, but bullshit that, like, you get hit in the chin and you take it and you say, why did I get hit in the chin? And you learn how to guard yourself and you learn how to fight better. That type of mentality and learning through your failures. You have to have that concept. If you don't, you shouldn't even be watching this. You shouldn't even be following me. You should give up tattooing, because this isn't like rainbow territory, all right? This isn't easy. You should go through pain. You should want to go through pain, because those, like, in the long game of things, those who didn't go through pain and who don't end up buckling under the smallest amounts of pressure. Sometimes I have $10,000, $15,000 come out of my bank account in one day. How would $10,000 to $15,000 get pulled out of your bank account in one day and having to make that back in another day to pay bills feel for you? This is an example of me developing a muscle of taking risks financially that you probably don't have. And obviously, that's 15,000 ain't shit to somebody that's making way higher risks. But this is the muscle that nobody can develop for you. You have to develop it for yourself. And that takes courage. It takes taking risks without knowing if it will work out or not and being willing to fail forward. It takes that type of mentality. There's no replacing that. So I hope that's made clear. Good news is most of you motherfuckers are fucked up human beings like I am. And that's probably why we vibe, because you're almost as fucked up as me. And the best part about that is when you can channel that dark side, that side that you're afraid of, that you know might be violent, might be crazy, might be intense. It's scared people away. It's, caused pain in the past. When you learn how to use your dark side for good, and you don't try to stifle it and hide it, but you learn how to control it and manage it in a way where you're just, you let out the dark side in a responsible way. That's the X factor. That's the intensity. That's being savage. That's it. There's no strategy that can replace that. That's just full on savage mode. All right. And it comes from the mindset. So I want to share just a couple things, and this conversation is going to be all over the place. So if you have questions, drop them below, because I might need to touch up on some more of these subjects and mindsets as we go on. But the first one I want to talk about is the ability and the power of thought. Do you know how powerful your thoughts are? Because they are so powerful to the point where if one is not able to control their thoughts and understand the responsibility and the value of that, they will never have a shot working with me. Not in any of my courses, not in my shop. I don't even talk to those kind of people, because those type of people make excuses. Those type of people make justifications for why they aren't where they want to be. And by the way, guys, that story, if I ask you, where do you want to get at? And why aren't you there right now? That story that comes up that you feel vocal and have to express, that says, oh, I'm not there because of this, I don't have enough money, I need to do this first, that first. That's bullshit, all right? That's the bullshit story and excuse that's holding you back from getting to the next level. And you will never make it to that next level until you drop that story and tell a different one. And that story is a totally different one. It's not one that will make people feel bad for you and say, oh, dang, that sucks. Well, you're going to make it one day, little Jimmy. It's not none of that shit. The only story that's going to allow you to get to the next level is, you know what? When I ask you what's holding you back from the next level, is you saying, you know what? I'm holding myself back from the next level. I'm a little bitch, and I'm afraid to make that action. I'm afraid to fall on my face. I'm afraid to get punched in the nose. I'm afraid to go for my dreams. You got to get real with yourself, because until you can get real with yourself and look in the mirror and say that kind of shit, you are not going to feel enough pain to say, I will never want to do that and never say that shit in the mirror again. I'm going to do what the fuck I need to do to own my fucking life and make it happen. I never want to feel that weak in the mirror again. Until you feel that pain for change, you don't change. People don't change without pain, all right? So use your pain for change. Don't use your pain for blame. That's the worst way. That's the worst thing you can do. That's a step backwards. That's 10 step backwards. That's weak bitch shit. And this is stuff, it's funny because I learned this stuff in a group home at 15 fucking years old, man. When I got caught with a sawed-off shotgun, I was doing my little gangbanging thing, and this is right when I started tattooing. I got locked up, and I remember talking to my counselor. It was crazy. I remember my counselor I used to hate, but then I actually used to love, and it got to the point where I actually ended up getting a green light from another gang, and they rolled up on us. And my counselor put up his dukes ready to swing on these motherfuckers with me. Like, that was pretty cool to see him do, although they kind of got scared off because he was a counselor. Anyway, I hated my counselor at the time, but now what he taught me back then is life-changing. It's fucking life-changing. And what he taught me was thinking errors, justification, shifting the blame, downplaying actions, justifications. There's so many of them. If you don't know what thinking errors, I would highly recommend you Googling thinking errors and doing some research in multiple sites, because thinking errors are what, when I learned them, they taught those to us because if they taught us thinking errors, it would help us understand what the fuck we're doing and that we're breaking the laws of society. It would help us understand it in that way. But now that I got those embedded into me, I'm almost frustrated talking to regular everyday motherfuckers because they all use thinking errors. They're all blaming other people. They're blaming the fucking government. They're blaming the dude at the studio that they're working in for why they suck, why they can't get business. But here's the truth. If you can't get business by yourself, you can't get business by yourself, and you need to get real in the mirror with that, because some people just don't got it. It doesn't matter what environment you're in sometimes. If you ain't got hustle, you ain't got hustle. That's the problem. It's you. It's not the environment. See, if I offer you an opportunity and say, hey, I can make you more than what you're making at my studio, but here's the catch. You got to make it to my studio, pay for a living situation for a month, and you're going to need about $2,000 total for that little trip. What happens, and I talk to a lot of artists and I give them this opportunity. It's really just a test. It's a test to say, hey, we're not looking for losers. We're not looking for people who don't know how to hustle. And when I mean hustle, I don't mean rip people off, but I mean if you are not a man of your life where you know how to survive, you are not like us. That's not the type of people we bring on. We don't bring on excuse makers. We don't bring on motherfuckers that need another man's help, like to replace or to replace what you don't have and what you need to be working on. All right? It's only men here. It's only grown-ass motherfucking men and people who are responsible at the highest level working in my studio. And when I say, because this is something that I give an opportunity to a lot of the time. I say, make your money. You come back in, you got a week. Most people don't make it. And I ask them why, and they blame it on all these bullshit things that just shows me, thank you. You are not one of us. I never made them excuses. I don't even want to work next to you. You're coming off like a little pussy. What the fuck? I want you to come into my business and solve some of my problems so we can grow to the next level. I don't need your problems. I don't need your weak-ass excuses. I don't need your weak-ass, lazy-ass. I don't need your misorganization and your sloppy shit in my studio. Our studio isn't the place for you to learn how to pick up after yourself. That's with your fucking mother. You understand? Outside of that, here's what a real hustler does, all right? If you can't make $2,000 in 1 week and you already have clients, you're the problem. Because here's the deal. So many tattoo artists don't realize that if they got 20 customers and they're and they're really serious about their dreams and they want to move and relocate somewhere, they don't understand that they can make $2,500 in a day if they do it right. I've done it many, many, many times. Now, it creates some it requires some creativity and you demand to fuck up, but it's possible. And here's how it works. This is something you can do right now. I guarantee it will work. It might not work exactly like it does for me, but if you got clients, they're gonna want this. And this is as simple as it is. Hey, what's up? You write down a list of all your clients and all the potential clients on your social media that you got phone numbers and emails or whatever you want to however you can contact them. You reach out, you do the fucking work. You send out hundreds of messages. There's no skipping that. But you send out the messages and say, hey, what's up? You were one of my favorite clients, and I'm actually doing something crazy. I love tattooing. I'm taking my tattooing to the next level. I'm relocating. I'm moving, And, so obviously bad news is I'm taking off. Probably not going to come back here very often. Good news is I know that we have some unfinished work, and I know you wanted more work. So the good news is I want to tattoo you one last time before I take off out of town. And what I'm willing to do, because I need to save some money so that I can get out there and succeed, I need some people that are going to help me. And what I'm willing to do is if my hourly rate is $100 an hour, I'm willing to give you an all-day session. It's worth $1,000, but I'm going to give it to you for 50% off. And I'm only doing this for 4 or 5 people because I'm trying to get out of here as soon as possible. I'm trying to make that $2,000, $2,500 and get the fuck out. If this is something you're interested in, let's book right now because, like I said, I'm trying to go now. I want to give everybody the opportunity to get in one last time. You're going to help me on my way of becoming, going for my dream. And I just hope that we can work something together. I know taxes are coming up. And you just, spit something like that. A lot of tattoo artists really just don't give a reason to come to them. They think their artwork is the reason, and their artwork isn't the reason unless they're in the top 3%. Your work does not sell itself. Your personality sells your artwork more than your artwork sells itself. But you don't share it. and you need to, all right? So that situation, that little hustle thing, is something I test all my people on, because that's the type of person that I am. Like, I've had times, I almost lost my studio hitting a dude in the face with a fucking Corona bottle. Self-defense, by the way. Dude just swung at me, I protected myself. And I almost lost my studio over that because it was hard to prove that it was self-defense. And when I was out, I had a lawyer to pay, all right? And within a weekend, I needed $4,000. So I made that $4,000. And I tattooed my face off. But I didn't do anything you guys can't do. But you got to have the hustle. And that's one thing you need to understand about me is, like, I didn't learn how to hustle and sell my tattoo services from fucking some old-ass tattoo motherfucker. Like, I'm a dope dealer in its finest, and I just changed the product. Like, that's what, my teen years were about, was gangbanging and serving dope and tattooing. And, I don't look down on it, because in simple, it definitely helped me understand how to multiply income and how to make income and how to hustle and how to survive. See, that's that's a really untalked about skill, is survival. And it's the most important one for any of us. Like, survival skills. Not like sitting out there making fires in the fucking mountains, but like survival. Can you multiply income? Or do you just lose income? Are you just a taker? Like, you just leech money. You don't know how to create money. You don't know how to create value, enough value to where people pay you. You got to figure that shit out, man. So that mentality of that hustler mentality is big. All right, you got to understand that. Secondly, because it's not just about hustle, but the other part about hustle and multiplying income is experience and vibe and being cool with people. If you're only a hustler, you're going to come off as a scam artist if you don't show people love. You got to have that love. You got to have that loyalty. See, I'm not going to use that example, but you got to have the loyalty to your clients. Care about them. Give a fuck about them. The worst thing an artist can do is talk to a client about how stoked and how happy they are about this piece because of their own selfish shit. The best thing you can do is say how stoked you are about the piece and how much of an honor it was that this client here, this human being, trusted me to, carry this artwork on them for the rest of their life. Like, that is impressive. That's amazing. That's the coolest part about this. Like, that should be the conversation you have. That's customer service. That makes them feel good versus making them feel like a number or a fucking canvas. Does that make sense? So let's backtrack to where we started this conversation with the power of thoughts. So here's the thing about thoughts. We're about to get spiritual. We're about to get somewhere that ain't in the tattoo world, all right? Your thoughts are not yours, but your thoughts, when you hold on to them, become your reality. They become your life. I don't know if you heard that or not. Many people say it, but this is how it works. Your thoughts, you have the opportunity to let them go through meditation or just relaxing, or you have the opportunity to hold on to them, whether they're the thoughts you want to think or not. But here's the deal. Your thoughts determine how you feel, and how you feel determines the actions you take or don't take. How many people have felt bad and didn't want to go to work? If you felt good, would you have went to work? Probably. If you had different thoughts, would you have felt different? Maybe. Sometimes we're talking about a physical sickness, but at the same time, just like you guys have seen, while one person cries and complains and say the day is ruined because it's fucking raining outside, which is pathetic as fuck, there's another person out there dancing in the rain, not letting it affect them, showing themselves and showing the world that, hey, This is a small problem. This ain't gonna stop me. Like, I'm on a big path. This is a small thing. So your thoughts determine the way you feel. And the way you feel determines the actions. And your actions over a long period of time determine your results. So that's why it's so important to have your thoughts in check and be responsible with your thoughts. What are you thinking in the morning? What are you taking a direction saying, look, I'm going to start writing down some gratitude and what I'm aiming for. Look at my goals in the morning. Or are you just waking up, pulling up Facebook, playing around, jerking the fuck off? Like, come on, man. Like, one of those, you are in control of your thoughts and you're making an intentional direction and you're going to go that way. Like, naturally, you're going to attract that stuff into your life because your thoughts are aligned with your feelings align with your actions will bring you results. But just like if you do the same with Facebook, you go jump on Facebook or the news, your thoughts are where? I can tell you this, they're nowhere in a place that supports your growth as a human. And then and this is the thing, is Abraham Hicks says, once you hold a thought, good or bad, positive or negative, for 17 seconds, it's easy to find another one, and another one, and another one. And now you're spiraling out of control in one direction or the other. So what I do, I wake up, I'm grateful for God. We're not promised tomorrow. I'm grateful for God. I wake up, I'm grateful for the bare necessities. Another day to do a little bit of art. Another day to share my thoughts. Another day just for some small stuff. Like, that's where I start my day. I make an intention and I go with it. I don't just wake up, jump on Facebook and start scrolling through stuff in the news and the coronavirus. That's not how I do things. I would not be anywhere in my life worth watching and learning from if that's the way I carried myself. Does that make sense? So thoughts also influences. Like, here's the deal. Like, this is number one with myself, is like my thoughts are number one because like our thoughts mixed with our environment, mixed with the people, determine our reality. So thoughts and everything are all in us. But if we have the wrong people around us that don't take control of their thoughts and they're just, vomiting from the mouth without intention, without like any direction, without goals, without focus. They're talking about the Kim Kardashian's latest news and shit. If that's the type of people, that I don't want them in my circle. Like, that's not the people that I keep around me because those thoughts don't support me. I'm on a mission. I'm on a big mission. I'm not on anything else. Like, I'm not here to hear just, bullshit. I'm not. You can go talk to your girlfriend or boyfriend about that. Like, I don't serve that role in anybody's life ever, and I don't plan on it. Like, I don't want to hear your problems. I don't want to hear all that. Like, we all got problems, And you know what problems are? They're opportunities, all right? How many of us complain about not having an opportunity, but complain about us having problems? Get your shit figured out, man. It's the same thing. Thoughts, influences, actions, results, environment. When I opened last year, 6 months ago, I realized, my studio is good. We made over $1 million here. We are the highest rated, the busiest. We're in control of everything. We're killing it. But I'm not happy here. I've lived here all my life. I've lived in Utah all my life. I'm not happy here. I almost wish I would open my studio somewhere else. That's when I realized that my environment, I love some of the people, I love my team, but I didn't like the environment that I was born in. I didn't like Four Seasons. I wanted to move somewhere by paradise. I wanted to move somewhere with more ambition, with people that are out there getting it, not people out there fucking and having babies and then struggling to get a job or a career. Like, that's what a lot of Utah is. It's a lot of family-oriented, great place to raise a family, but it's not the place that's ambition-oriented. It's not the place where it's artistic and creative like that. There's a lot of judgmental people. There's a lot of people that put you in categories, and Dax has been put in many categories in Utah. Many gossiping bullshit shares on Facebook, trying to boycott my tattoo studio for numerous bullshit reasons. And you know what? Like, really, like last year I realized, man, fuck this place. Like, this place ain't for me, and neither are these people. Like, good luck, peace out. I'm gonna go hang out with motherfuckers that have fun. I'm gonna go hang out with people that I vibe with. So that, I had to make that shift. And when I was 20 years old, I had to do the same thing and move out of state too. And you're gonna have to do the same thing too. Like, realistically, is it realistic to think that you're going to find your dream studio that you can grow into the best level possible in the same place that you're at now? You need to get real with yourself. If you're in a small town, that's not the place. Even if you're in a big town, I don't know if that's the place. Like, the thing is you're limiting yourself and your options because you don't want to relocate somewhere. That's not anybody else limiting you. But that's just you showing God that you are very limited, or you aren't up for the opportunity of greatness. You just want to kind of get by, because nobody does something great just staying in their hometown as a tattoo artist. You have a comfortable little environment. That's cute, but that's nothing remarkable, you know? Very few people really build something impressive in the hometown. And the reason why is because, those thoughts, those influences, that environment does not support growth. It supports stability. It supports what you've always had. But if you want something more, you can't be in the place that's supporting what you've always had. You got to get to a new place that supports the new place. You got to get in a new fish tank. Does that make sense? I don't know if we got questions here. I'm still trying to figure out how to, okay, we got a little bit of questions. What up, Shaq? What up, Jay? Good to hear from you. So thoughts, influences, and actions, environment, that stuff's like the biggest thing, man. And nobody's going to change that shit for you. Like, this is the stuff that you got to you got to take courage, and it's not going to be easy, and it's going to be scary, So many tattoo artists want to find this, like, easy way to transition into a new shop, or easy way to relocate, or easy way to specialize, or easy way to get to this next level. You realize the next level is never easy to get to. That's why it's the next level. And that's why this level that you're comfortable in is so easy now, because you got better. But you got to keep getting better. And as you keep getting better and stepping it up, the current level will be easier, but the next level will still be harder, and it should be. Like, you don't go to the gym for 3 months and rip your chest up and go through all that pain, and then in 3 months you start lifting less weight because it's just more comfortable. Like, you got to still keep ripping that shit up. You know what I'm saying? You got to rip that shit up and keep adding more weight. I've got so much different. I'm going to drop a bunch of these every morning. I'm going to start just dropping mindset, qualities of human beings that make shit happen, because this is outside of tattooing. It's not even exclusive to tattooing. It is for every human being, all right? There's certain qualities that winners possess and learn, and there's certain qualities that make you a loser. That's just the way it is, One of those that makes people losers is wanting to be accepted by everybody. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, have some self-esteem, learn self-esteem, learn how to stand on your own 2 feet and not need other people's approval. You don't need to be accepted. You need to accept yourself. That's the problem. Motherfuckers out there wanting other people to put them on. You need to put yourself on. Wanting people to accept them for fucking attaching a dick or cutting their dick off and changing their sex. You know what? You need to accept yourself. You don't need to start spitting on other people and saying, hey, they're not accepting me because I changed my sex. Dude, God doesn't make mistakes. Learn how to trust in him. Understand that. Like, Fix yourself. Don't you can try to change, make the whole world change, or you can change yourself. One of those is actually possible. But the world ain't changing for you. That's the truth. You're going to have to change yourself. So it's like, I don't know where I'm going with this. We're going on a tangent. But I'm going to start dropping more of these, just kind of sharing my experience on qualities of winners. And just to finish off, so there's no misunderstandings on what I just said, the quality of a winner is somebody who doesn't care for approval, doesn't need your approval, focuses on their own thoughts, takes responsibility of their path in life and their results and their failures. Like, that just handles their shit. They're willing to look in the mirror and take ownership of anything. They're not making excuses. They're not blaming and pointing fingers and using those thinking errors. And they're on a path of growth. And that's one thing that I've realized and I can acknowledge, and each one of you guys that I can vibe with, is that nobody is on the path of growth. There's people that act like they're on the path of growth, and they're going to post all their quotes, and, they're not going to apply any of the knowledge they learn in the books they read. They just read books to get a sugar high, and then they share that information with other people. That's not what I do. That's not what this is about. But a real motherfucker on growth, they grow. But they didn't just decide to grow because they wanted to grow. They decided to grow because they wanted to grow, because their lifestyle at some point was so painful, or so, I don't fucking want this anymore, that growing, which was very uncomfortable and very hard, became less uncomfortable and less painful than that other pain, and less challenging than sitting there and dealing with the pain that they were dealing with. So that's why I say, like, there is a dark side to everybody. It's what you can do that scares you in those moments where you're dealing with pain and stuff. Like, learn how to cultivate that energy. See, when I was in a gang, I was using it for bad. When I learned how to cultivate that and in the right direction into my creativity and what I stood for, and my, not give a fuck, I don't care if you approve of my message or not. When I was able to channel it into that direction, I felt a lot better and I got a lot more shit done. And that's what I want for you, because you got to bring out the X factor in yourself if you don't already have it. That X factor is your instincts. And if you don't know what your instincts are, if you aren't tapped into those, you aren't going to go nowhere. It's not about the strategies. It's about the instincts, and it's about the action. That's what creates the strategies that work. You don't create a strategy and then take action on it. You take action. You learn your instincts. You develop them. And that's what creates the strategy that works for you. So that's all I got for this video. Tomorrow morning, we're going to jump in and talk about another topic. I'm not exactly sure what I'm feeling, but I got this huge list right here on my iPad of the qualities and the core values that all of my artists possess, that I hire and work with. And not just that, but high performance people. So I'm going to start sharing those qualities, and in hopes that, it sparks some minds and you guys, can pick some of this up and do something with it. So y'all have a great one. And share this post. Let's start building this. I need your help with this, because while I'm creating the content, I need motherfuckers out there spreading the word. So if you like this, my oxygen is your shares, your comments, and stuff like that. And my inspiration to keep doing this is the same. So I appreciate y'all. We'll see you tomorrow.